Still the hour. We're still pretending to be happy. Although it's gotten better now that Steve Moskowitz is here.
Thank you very much.
Judge Margaret Taylor.
Really out of line.
Nutcase, bad judge, or overzealous fan? Well, we should back up. Let's tell us. Yeah. A couple of football players at South Florida have been arrested in the last couple of months, and one's been thrown off the team already by the brand new coach Charlie Strong. The other one is entering the legal system in one way or another. And Judge Margaret Taylor, sitting on the bench yesterday, decided to lecture Charlie Strong about whether he should be the coach of this team, and went so far as to say, "I'm embarrassed to have my diploma from that school." Today she recused herself for screamingly obvious reasons. But what I wonder is, A, whether she's basically made it impossible for the second potential defendant to get a fair trial, given the fact that judges talk to each other, they know each other. And secondly, why in fact, I mean, what's the benefit of teeing off on somebody who's not involved in the case from the bench? I mean, if she's a private citizen, I think it's a different deal. But she was going to hear this case on Wednesday, recused herself today. And so I'm wondering, A, whether she's blown the prosecution, or worse, whether she's jeopardized not only the athlete's ability to get a fair trial, but has damaged her own reputation to the point where it's going to rebound on her from here on out.
She really hurt herself. First of all, a judge is supposed to be neutral. If a judge has strong personal feelings about something, then you say, I can't hear the case. So she'll be real lucky if she doesn't get disciplined. Mm-hmm. As to the defendant, she cut him a break because now he's got an automatic appeal. If something goes wrong, and say, hey, I didn't get a fair trial. And I think the prosecution now is going to be hampered because they're going to be extra touchy to make sure he gets an extra fair trial.
Have you ever seen a judge use their platform in such a blatant way to attack Charlie Strong, who just took over as head coach in December, and it wasn't his trial?
Oh, absolutely. But most of the time, it's in a courtroom where nobody is there except the parties, and it never gets reported. This is different.
Does Charlie Strong have any recourse to sue? Or, I mean, because I guess it's a public forum, and I guess there are First Amendment rights that judges have as well, but he wasn't involved here. And I'm wondering whether he could sue for some form of defamation.
He wouldn't do that. He's too smart. And look at him already. He took the high ground in the way he responded. Plus, he's a real type of law and order type of guy. He is handling it just fine. He handled it just the perfect way.
Okay. The other interesting legal thing that happened, in fact, it happened today, is an associate athletic director at LSU cautioned but didn't order LSU athletes not to wear LSU garb if they're going to engage in protests against the Alton Sterling murder of a year ago. And one, is that, can she, I mean, she could certainly request it, but could she order it? And two, isn't that a violation of those athletes' First Amendment rights based on the fact that, what, I just can't wear a T-shirt? How does that work?
Absolutely not, because I know when they don't want to pay the athletes, they say it's not a business. But the bottom line is, if you have something to say yourself about the police officer, that's your business. But the minute you put on LSU, you could be at least construed as going for the company line. And all corporations tell their employees, you have something to say, fine, say whatever you want, but not while you're in uniform. That's a big deal. They're well within their rights. They did very nicely requesting, but they could have gone further. And if some of those athletes or some of those people say, you know what, I'm wearing it anyway, I bet you they get disciplined.
So if you're wearing something, maybe you didn't even go to Duke, but you happen to be wearing a Duke sweatshirt when you're out protesting, Duke has some sort of legal recourse against you for wearing their brand?
That's different because you have nothing to do with Duke. And by the way, they can't do anything to you. So I put on a Duke T-shirt, it doesn't matter. They can't do anything to me. But if I was doing something with Duke on the team, a coach, a professor, and I show with my Duke sweatshirt, yeah, they would do something.
What if you're just a student?
Yes, they can do something to them. They have the right to discipline them. Look what kids get thrown out of school for now.
Yeah. Wow. That's something to chew on right there.
No,
Indeed it is.
colleges, you can't trust them. Don't. Higher education's bad.
Who
Steve,
would
thanks
trust
for
a
coming
college?
on.
Always a pleasure.
See you next week.
Look forward to it.